Okay, so a day after the Raiders finalize their 53-man roster, they add 2 more players and make some corresponding moves. The Raiders have cut Thayer Mumford and thrown Aiden O'Connell on short-term IR, and the transactions that they made are as follows. They have claimed linebacker Brendan Jackson and signed offensive lineman Stone Forsythe. Now, typically, I only make videos for like big time, like we've signed Amari Cooper signings. A couple of these smaller things don't usually catch my eye, but these 2 in particular are actually way more important than you think. And I'm going to break it down in terms of what they mean, these 2 players specifically, to our roster, how they fit in, because I do think at least one of them could be playing a lot. And secondly, the idea that the only claim they put in was for a linebacker, I think tells you about how they feel about either the market out there for the secondary or the confidence that they have in the secondary that they have on the team. Pete Carroll talked at a press conference today, and he mentioned the secondary. He mentioned a bunch of different things. We're going to break it all down. Let's get into the transactions first here. This was yesterday, August 27th, the time I'm recording this. Raiders claim linebacker Brennan Jackson and sign offensive tackle. He's a tackle. He plays a lot of right tackle, a little bit of left tackle. Stone Forsythe. The Las Vegas Raiders have claimed Brendan Jackson via waivers from the Rams and signed Logan Forsythe to the club, announced Wednesday. Jackson comes to the Silver and Black after 1 season with the Rams, where he played in 7 games, 1 start, recorded 2 tackles and 1 pass defense, as well as 1 special teams tackle. Jackson was the Rams' 5th-round pick in 2024, so he's a young buck. The 6'4", 263-pound linebacker hails from Montgomery, Ohio. He played at Washington State for 6 seasons, led the team in sacks in 2023. Forsythe joins the Raiders in his 5th NFL season after spending training camp with the New York Giants. Prior to his time with the Giants, Forsythe spent the first 4 years of his career with Seattle with Pete Carroll, obviously. Forsythe played in 3 seasons under head coach Pete Carroll and was originally a 6th-round selection. Over his 4 seasons with Seattle, Forsythe played in 53 regular season games and made 14 starts, adding 1 postseason appearance in 2022. The 6'8", 300-pound offensive lineman played 5 seasons at the University of Florida. The corresponding moves, the Raiders have waived Thayer Mumford and placed Aiden O'Connell on IR. So Forsythe is the guy that's going to replace Thayer Mumford, and he seems to be at least as good, if not better, and apparently he's more of a true right tackle where Thayer Mumford was kind of bouncing all over the place. But what I want to focus on here, we'll get to Forsythe in a little bit, is Brennan Jackson and what he did in this preseason. This is from Tristan Kuhn. 6'4", 265, Brennan Jackson posted 5 pressures and 3 sacks during the preseason. 16.7% win rate. Las Vegas did not claim anybody else. Lots of raw upside with Jackson. He has good lateral movement skills and twitch with burst off the line of scrimmage. Has to add strength, but Las Vegas has a good track record of developing defensive line talent. And I know what you're thinking, well, there's a new regime in there, so how could the history of us developing these linemen continue? Well, we still have Rob Leonard, who is the DL coach, and we still have Patrick Graham. And there is no doubt that Patrick Graham has had a knack for developing guys like Max Crosby, like Adam Butler, like Malcolm Kuntz, and seemingly like Tyree Wilson. So I want to get into all this, but before I do, and I love saying this, it's so fun, please sign up. It helps the channel tremendously. I do want to let you know about our channel sponsor, DraftKings. With the NFL season right around the corner, there's no time like the present to get involved in the betting scene, and now you can with our new channel partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers bet $5 and get $300 instantly in bonus bets, and all you have to do is download the DraftKings app and sign up using the promo code ALLaBorde. Whether it's the thrill of betting on games live as they happen or building the perfect parlay for an even bigger payout, DraftKings has you covered. And do not worry, if sports betting isn't yet legal in your state, you can still get in on all the action with DraftKings Daily Fantasy. From football to basketball to hockey to lacrosse to golf, the variety of bets you can make on DraftKings cannot be beat. From popular stats to game lines, touchdown scores, game props, team props, and much, much more. The next great touchdown is coming, and you can bet on it. Download the DraftKings app, sign up, and use the promo code ALLABORDE. Okay, shout out to DraftKings. Like I said, guys, it helps the channel out tremendously if you do sign up. If you want to get into betting, promo code. Okay, so Forsythe is a decent pickup. It's linebacker depth, right? It's a good pickup. Or linebacker, offensive line depth. Brennan Jackson is very interesting. He's an interesting player, and that being the only person we picked up has a deeper meaning to the whole schedule, which is kind of what I predicted in the last video I made talking about the roster, about how they feel about the defense, which is if they don't add more secondary pieces, that means that they are pretty confident in what they have in the secondary, or they're just kicking the can down the road and hoping and praying that these guys develop. Now, Pete Carroll and John Spytek don't feel like hope and pray kind of guys. It feels like they have a plan of attack. I do have a plan. Attack. Anybody? Brennan Jackson seems like a pretty good player. Now, I'm not a Rams fan. If there are any Rams fans that clicked on this, please tell me as to why you don't think he made the roster. But having the win rate that he had in the preseason and recording those sacks and those pressures, he's a good-sized linebacker. That could be some insurance if Devin White proves to not be as good as we initially thought. Because if we look at the 53-man roster here, and I'll zoom in here so we could make it a little bit easier to see. Is that better? Yeah, okay. So we have everybody that we have on the starting offensive line, and now our backups are Grant, Rogers, Putnam, Kappa, and Stone Forsythe. That is so much better. Stone Forsythe, I have so much more confidence in stepping into the right tackle or maybe even the left tackle because he's played a little bit of both. Because he's had, playoff experience playing in games with Pete Carroll and knowing the system. And I just don't trust Thayer Mumford as well as I would trust this guy. But if you look at the linebacking core here, ESPN has, Jermaine Pratt, Orlando Roberts, Devin White, with the backups being Jamal Adams, Tommy Eichenberg, and now Brennan Jackson. We don't have to rely on a rookie 7th-round draft pick, right? 6th round? 7th round? 7th round. J.J. Pegues was the 6th rounder that made the team. 7th-round draft pick to come in here if one of these guys gets hurt or isn't playing well. And Brennan Jackson, like I said, how old is this kid? He is 24 years old. He was born in the year 2000. I think this guy could be a real player for us if we can develop him. And maybe we'll even see him on the defensive line, because if you look at the defensive line depth, it's Kuntz and Snowden behind him. And where's Max? Max, and then Tyree behind him. Maybe Brendan Jackson is there to push Devin White, but also to push Charles Snowden. And Pete Carroll has always been preaching what? Compete. And that's what we continue to do. But my tinfoil hat kind of brain is working here in this sense. Pete Carroll in his press conference today was asked about the blessing and the curse of having a young secondary. And he said, I appreciate you giving me the choice of going blessing and curse. I'm going to go blessing here. Now, of course, that's just positive, Pete. He's not going to come on here and say, yeah, we stink. Although he said many times, like after preseason games, the defense was not good. Offensive line needs to be better. And we've continued to grow and be better. And he will say people are growing and continuing to be better. He will not mince words. But, differently than Antonio Pierce, I actually believe him when he says something that he's going to, stick to. He was glowing about the secondary. He says Eric Stokes has been the number one guy. He's been awesome for us. On the other side of the ball, we've got a lot of competition between vets and rookies and younger players. And, of course, that's D-Cam and Darian Porter and Kyu Blue Kelly. And we've seen the defense struggle secondary-wise, no doubt about it. And I'm now not going to come on here and say, because they didn't sign anybody, that we're going to have the no-fly zone or the Legion of Boom 2.0. But this does kind of lend a little bit of credence to what I was talking about a few days ago, which is if they don't claim anybody and if they don't trade for anybody, and they still could, but as of right now they haven't, they are content rolling into the new season, which starts in 1 week from today. I'm so excited, with Porter, D-Cam, Kyu Blue, Eric Stokes, Darnay Holmes. So you have to assume one of two things. The first thing you can assume is that, again, you cannot overnight go from 4 wins to Super Bowl contender, and the secondary was the one area that we were going to just try to continually develop while we push forward the defensive line and the offensive weaponry, and we're just going to try to outscore people, which I think is a likely and logical conclusion to looking at our secondary. The other thing to consider, and it could be a little of both here, is that they believe in the secondary from what they've seen running our scheme in practice more so than what we've been seeing. Because as bad as they've been, and they've been bad, let's not mince words, they've been bad, the secondary. But for as bad as they've been, they're just running like iso ball. They're not running anything schematically that we're going to run in the regular season. Now, you could say that about the offense, and the offense has played well in the preseason, and they haven't run anything schematically either. So, there's two sides of the coin here. Two sides of the coin, not corn. Two sides of the corn. Is there sides of corn, or is it just one long piece of corn? I digress. All that to say, I don't think we're going to get any, Jalen Ramsey for Mika Fitzpatrick. I don't think we're trading Malcolm Kuntz for a corner. Everyone was like, let's go get Mike Hill, and he just got cut by the Dolphins. So it's like, we're going to go get a guy that just got cut. Maybe there's a Russell Douglas signing. But again, they've had chances to claim these other people or sign these other people, and they haven't. Now, this could be linked to Jacoby Myers because once we extend him, because we will extend him eventually, I've got no sources on that. I'm just kind of giving my opinion and my take on the situation. Once he gets the contract extended, we'll have less money to bring somebody else in, so maybe they're waiting. And if you look at our schedule, let's pull up the schedule here. Raiders 2025 schedule. If you look at the schedule here, and then I'll share the screen for you guys, and this will all make sense in a little bit. The first two games don't have eye-popping, oh no, wide receivers we have to cover. Ladd McConkey is good, but there's no Travis Kelce. There's no Brian Thomas. There's no A.J. Brown or Calvin Ridley. There's no CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens. There's no Nico Collins, right? There's a Terry McLaurin, right? And then there's a lot of decent weapons with Chicago. Okay. But until we play Travis Kelce, who again is also not that great, until we play Brian Thomas, there's no true, oh no, wide receiver that we're going to have to really lock down besides Terry McLaurin. So maybe the strategy is play the young guys as early as we can, get them reps against, Stephon Diggs, who's good, not great anymore, Ladd McConkey, who's decent, and some weaponry and some decent quarterback play out of Drake May and Justin Herbert. Terry McLaurin, that'll be a big test for us. Roma Dunze and DJ Moore is a decent test. Michael Pittman, okay. Calvin Ridley, okay. Travis Kelce, okay. And then Brian Thomas, bang. And then CeeDee Lamb, bang. And then A.J. Brown, bang. There isn't a lot of hugely Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson type players on our schedule until we get to, again, maybe the Commanders, but mostly the second half of the season. And Pete Carroll has said time and time again, we want to get the rookies to play and do what they do well early enough that by the time we hit the midway point, they are confident enough in their ability that they can go out there and play every snap and do everything we're asking of them. So there's a lot to discuss there. I love the Brennan Jackson and Logan Forsythe signings, and I actually love them because I don't typically go, I got to make a video about signing Alex Kappa. But these two actually kind of say a lot to me, and I think that deeper meaning is something that I explained in this video. I will say this, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 15,000, and shout out to my patrons and YouTube membership people. You get so many benefits if you sign up for this stuff for only a small fee per month. You can cancel anytime, and if you sign up before the Raiders kick off week 1 for YouTube memberships, you have a chance to win a $100. Shout out to my new patron, Anonymous Raider fan. I won't say his full name because he didn't want me to, but thank you so much for signing up. Please be sure to subscribe. It's free after all, no charges to you. I love you guys, and I will see you next time.